I didn't drive here last second when you texted me.
Well, that's why
I can't even remember what day it is.
Right?
Oh my god, it's Saturday? Oh, okay.
I told Ashley I had no idea what day it was today. It was like I got up, went to work, and I'm like, why is no one here? Yes, we are live. I just wanted to be sure everyone is aware. So every time we start a
Are
live,
you checking the...
I'm checking if it went live because it says we went live.
The
Are
audio
you
too.
checking the
I'm checking all of it.
sound?
Yeah.
Oh, we healed. Why am I still minus
We
9?
we did. You also leveled up your health, so you were 66, now you're 76.
Oh wait, but we just fought those people. We haven't rested yet.
Oh no, you have not rested
That's right.
yet.
I
So
was like, why do I have minus 9? But
it literally is exactly where it took off. So it says we're live. So if we're live, I'm sorry. Just wait 1 second. But I'm not seeing it pop up, and that's important. Oh, it says we're live.
Maybe refresh.
Yes. We'll try that. Anyway, those of you that are joining us, thank you very much for coming on. It should be connecting, but it's not. Let me just back out and go back in. Yeah, we're good.
There you go.
Okay, so everybody, let me check the sound. Okay, so everybody, fix my hair because I look like a psychopath. A little bit Dexter going on.
No.
My hair was all like, just you know how he gets like that really
He's not
crazy
a
hair.
psychopath, he's a sociopath.
And a serial killer. Oh, spoilers.
If you haven't seen it yet,
If you haven't seen episode 1, you would know. All right,
if you haven't seen it yet, go to hell. I'm just kidding.
this is called the tired stream, not the live stream. But you know what? We are here for you. Just you. I didn't even type my email address. I just put in Gmail.
Oh.
Oh no, now they know I use Gmail.
Who doesn't use Gmail?
It's connected to everything. I can go to Google Docs and
Okay, stop it.
I'm sorry. I'm waiting for it to load. That's why I'm doing it. Okay. Last time we faced off against some very, very easy guys. I mean, it seems so.
They were not
because
easy. I almost killed him.
It's true, I almost died.
So who was the boss? So, just to give you kind of a quick, they were being chased by this demon since like episode 2.
Not me.
Him particularly, and a warlock named Odeon. They you just roll the dice. Oh,
She was sound asleep.
of course. She's like, hey, you're playing D&D. But anyway, so they're being chased. They fought. They finally captured them. Ambushed them is a better word. Ambushed them inside a pub of all places, and it was a good old-fashioned bar fight, but a lot bloodier and a lot more death. And they won with a lot of crits and
Yeah.
some very lucky shots, and it just turned out for the best. I mean, they won, and they didn't lose anyone. There were 4 casualties total. I guess 5 if you're counting the barkeep underneath them. I would say count
The guy that was dead before we started.
Right, that wasn't his fault. But anyway, and now we're here. We're in the exact same burning building. They just collected and looted, and Odeon collected some demon blood because that was what was necessary. Demon or devil, same type of thing. It's not the same, but it's the same idea. So, anyway, let's get started. So, building's on fire. Smoke is all around you. Not like a heavy flame, but enough to warrant maybe perhaps a little attention. People are starting to gather around the tavern slash pub slash inn, and they see that you guys are just finishing the battle. You just sliced the Cambion in half that was trying to flee and jumped over you. You're hiding behind the thing healing, and you just sliced him as he tried to run, mostly in 2.
Yes.
But
And we did start looting too.
You did, and you looted the bandolier from the one giant devil. Orthon is what it was, and a big tusked demon thing.
Yes.
And then you found that he had a bunch of bombs that he had made at some point.
Yeah.
They're not sure what exactly they do. They all have different effects. But Odeon says you told him to take care of him because you said you felt like you weren't capable of doing anything with them at the moment. You did, however,
Right.
take that
The crossbow.
double brass and wood crossbow, and that is all we've looted. But that's pretty much all there is to loot. But now people are surrounding the tavern and they're asking
Well,
questions to each other.
we also grabbed that sword that we stuffed
Oh,
in the bag
that's
of
right.
holding.
That had kind of like an icy touch to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wrapped it up and put it in.
Yeah.
That's right. Good old bag of holding. Turns out they're not endless, by the way. They just they have a limit eventually.
Really?
Yeah, from what I was reading. All right.
Huh.
Anyway, so a bunch of clamoring of people, all asking questions at this point. They're looking in and seeing this just wreckage of also bodies of their loved ones. Odeon did release them from their ghoulish state
Uh-huh.
to
That
not
was nice.
to not alarm the citizens to running us out of town.
Right.
Even though he could have kept that going.
Dark magics.
It's probably not the best thing to show off. So one man comes in and says, "What happened?" Just you've
Who's
never
he
seen this
asking?
guy before. He's just asking in general when he
What-
walks in.
What does the guy look like?
He's got sandy blonde hair. He's got these like this kind of like a cockeye a little bit, but he's generally like a good-looking guy. But he looks like he works the fields.
Is he older or is he like young like the other people?
Probably mid-40s
That's weird.
for you, young.
That's really weird
Why?
because I thought that all the men of that age were taken,
Not all of them.
but
Skilled people.
all we've seen are old people and young people.
We'll talk to him if you have any questions about him. He asked you a question, first off.
What did he say?
He said, "What happened here?"
What does it look like?
Right.
You just kind of gestured to the bodies.
What do you even say to that?
An audience says, "We defended your town yet again."
It's an accurate estimation.
I don't.
Okay. No, and in the man in red kind of backs off a little bit, and people start coming in. They start looking around, and some people grab the bodies and start pulling them out, and other people just instinctively go to the flames and try to
Okay,
put
so
curtains on them, anything damp that
so-
can.
who? Are there anyone else that's like his age around?
Not really.
Okay.
You can roll an insight check on him. You can
Okay.
just so you know, you can investigate people. It does seem odd, but you're not sure why. You know what you just said, that it's confusing that there is only this person of that age, but
Okay.
that's pretty much it.
I'll ask someone later.
I'm going to remember you. And Odeon says, "Well, we should probably get out of here."
Yeah.
He reaches behind the counter and grabs a bottle, and then tosses it to you and says, "Let's go."
Get out of here, as in out of the inn.
Out of the inn. Yeah, it's currently on fire.
Wait, do we want to leave demon bodies here? Like, is that the best thing to do? Just abandon demon bodies?
Odeon says, "I'm not familiar, but we can always
Burn them?
send them back by burning them."
Do I know anything about getting rid of demons?
Roll history. With the touch of the DM's hand, turned into a natural 20. Yeah, I mean, technically it was still moving. I just put it back where it was going. I don't have powers.
Natural 20?
Or do I? Hello and welcome. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna say it counts. So you do know about demon disposal. It is just as simple as burning their bodies. Sometimes people will say prayers to.
I rolled a natural 20 for that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's really they're done. They're gone. They're not like they're gonna return to that body. You've
Okay.
anything that if they've stepped into the material plane, they've given up their kind of an immortality type state from where they're at.
So they don't just go back to
They don't
their
just go
dimension
back.
and
They
then
are
come back?
these two are actually dead and done. You can burn
Oh.
them as kind of a get back to where you belong sort of thing, but their souls are gone.
All right, so I just
I think the less questions, the better. Like with the townspeople.
right there. Would you-
Yeah, I think the more
Just, like,
people
just
see this,
that it's-
the more problems we're gonna have.
So we just burn it now.
Yeah, just burn them.
There
Okay,
is
so
a
I
small courtyard out back, and you feel like there would be an area you could just burn them, and just say you're disposing of the bodies.
Yeah.
oh okay.
I
You've
think we
seen it
should-
before. I'm just describing the location you're at. If you were to try to,
I mean the inn's on fire. Can we get the inn off like not on fire?
people were working on that.
Oh
That's
okay.
right, yeah.
People rushed to put out the fire once they saw that the danger was done.
Okay, so
Danger of
I guess
explosions.
we should we
It
pull
did
them,
draw quite a crowd.
we pull them out into the courtyard, grab the foot of the what is it, a camion,
Yeah,
and because he's only half a body.
Right.
not very
Just-
heavy. Well, he didn't exactly like sever all the way through, but
Yeah.
it's an awkward drag, but you can do it.
Mhm.
You can manage.
Okay, and then those two, they I don't know though. I'm a little worried about you because I almost killed you. I say it with the awkward laugh. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, it says in the heat of battle we all make mistakes.
I go and I help bring in the what was it? The thing.
The orthon.
Orthon.
I need to write down these names.
For some reason, I
guys.
want to call it a bar guest, even though I know it's not even close to the same thing.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
That's-
smiling.
That's what I want to call it
She's
for
like,
some
very
"This is
reason.
my
different.
favorite
Really
time of the
scary
week."
thing, but no. Yeah, so you work together dragging these bodies out. No one else wants to help because they see these things and they can tell that they're definitely of a different plane. and
Different.
terrifying.
So I grab a piece of like a broken like chair or something and I light it on fire and go out and just throw it onto the. Oh no! I grab the bottle of liquor from Odeon and then throw the stick on. There.
You mean the one he gave to me that I'm drinking to
Fine, I got
subsist
it from
with?
you.
The one that keeps me sane?
I just went like this for a little bit and then I didn't do the whole thing.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's like
Just
you
to
need
get
all
it
of
started.
Just a little bit of my sanity, that's okay.
Just a little bit.
Alright.
You're already insane. So.
The good news about fantasy world is there's plenty of ale to go around.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so
She's looking around like.
you start
This
the
is my
fires
favorite
and
thing.
the corpses burn, and it's kind of a satisfying. You're done with this chapter of being chased. At that point, there is a few people that are looking on, but then they walk away, and fire's been put out in the inn.
This height. I don't know that the alcohol keeps you sane. You haven't said anything to me.
You're like, ah. You're like old Jack Sparrow at this point. I need to
Why is the rum coming?
always. All right, so amidst the
I'm just here to
flames,
clean up your messes, guys.
amidst the flames and the burning two devils,
Yeah.
out walks a man, very finely
Jesus.
dressed, looks very noble, and everyone notices that the flames stop moving and the smoke stops moving, and all sound stops producing sound.
Wait,
Like,
what?
Everything around you goes
This
still.
person walking where?
He's walking by the flames that you're all burning the bodies of these two and just kind of staring, and you just notice the flames stop. And it's no surprise to you when you notice who it is. You can't see it, the face. It's almost like in a dream where you can't quite see the face.
He's the one that's seeing this?
You're
Oh, we're all
you're
seeing it.
all seeing it together, which is unusual because that's not normally what happens. No, it was a one-on-one situation.
Oh.
So he walks up to you, Weirin, and he kind of, you feel that kind of like frozen fear, just like, oh no, what is he gonna do now? Like you just,
Is this the trickster?
yeah. So he walks up to you and he has a cane and he just kind of keeps tapping it against the ground. He's not using it as like to walk, but just to kind of play around, just smacking stones as he walks, which sends off a strange crack, but it's not quite It was almost like an echoey underwater type crack. And he says, I know the pain of it, the ignorance of those above. I do not dwell above or below, but I can grant you power. I've seen how Azrael ignores you, ignores your prayers, ignores your brother, ignored you in your most dire need for him, doesn't bother to even show up. He's like, this is the power that I granted Odeon, but I feel you're different. You could be more powerful than he ever could be, but I do not wish to remove his power. Some patrons will take away to give to another. In fact, I do not want this at all. I want to grant both of you this ability. It's my magic. I will loan it to you and the abilities until the end of your journey on Earth. Afterwards, I only ask that you will join me in the mansions on my plane. It's our own private plane of existence. There's no gods, there's no demons. It's just us living forever. There are many of us already, and you will not be alone. You will not be a slave, but live in luxury and happiness with me. That's all I'm asking of you. But if the time should come that I need you to help me fight, stage a coup, help defend our plane in the afterlife, I would ask that you would do so. But then again, you're not holden to this completely. It's more of a courtesy if I am to give you some abilities. And then he just kind of looks at you for a second and just hanging. And you can't tell. Like I said, it's like when you're having a dream and you want to put a face to
He's not talking to me.
the person that's moving.
Yeah.
He's just letting you be there. And last time he appeared to you, he was as an old woman.
Mm-hmm.
and then he changed. But this is his
so
true.
I've seen him like this?
Yeah, this is his truest form.
Oh,
though.
okay.
Like he's not
I couldn't
he's
remember.
not
It's been a
disguised as
while.
anyone. He just is. But he is truly the faceless one, as they call him, because you can't quite see what he looks like. He just is always. It's always a morphing. It's almost like a blur.
I want to roll an insight, and see if he's being honest with me.
7. You have no reason to believe that he's lying to you. Odion's standing there, and he turns to you and says, "It is a hard thing to choose, but it seems your gods have abandoned you, and it's either that or the 9 hells. So I took this myself because I serve the god of death myself, and his domain is not one for visiting. And I want you to roll history and see what you remember of your religion. Sorry, religion.
Religion.
Yeah.
18.
18.
He just wants to play. Henry was the same
She's
way.
blowing bubbles and smiling. 18. So with an 18, you do know that all the gods seem to ask for something. Any god that there's always like a condition. Serve this god and you get. It's always some kind of. This is an unusual thing. It's more of it's like a contract of sorts. It's how most religion is. And you feel that if you were to do this, it's no different than serving, say, Azrael, going to his plane and serving him in the afterlife. It's just I grant you power. You have to help me out when I need you in the afterlife.
Okay.
Because even in the afterlife, it isn't over. If you read any books, it's all like one plane doing stuff to another plane.
Right.
So with that high of a roll, you know all that it's quite common. So whether you can tell if he's lying or not, you can see by tradition that that's something that would be the case.
Okay. I tell him I will agree to your conditions. However, I have a condition of my own that I would like to add.
And so you're in this like drunken state, but also like very clear.
Yeah.
And you say this to him, and then you can tell he smiles, but in your head, like you just feel, everyone does. It's like this, like, look, okay.
Wait, so who else sees him?
You all do. So you, Odeon, everyone around you that may have been watching, sees you all just standing there by the fire.
Oh, they don't see.
They do not see him.
Okay.
In
that's
fact, the
what I was-
fire stopped, smoke has
that's what I
stopped,
was-
everything's just still,
Hmm.
as if it was a painting.
Oh, so so they're stopped.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So like time is frozen.
Mm.
Oh, like when I. Okay, I got it. Okay, sorry.
No, you're good.
Continue.
No, if you need help painting the picture better, I'm here for you.
So I will accept this deal, but I want this curse of the demons searching for me removed.
He begins to laugh, and it's like this. It's very like metallic laughter, if that makes sense. And it's just this really unusual and laughter. But he smiles and says, "Done," and he puts out his hand to shake it.
Okay, I shake his hand.
You clasp his hand, and in that moment, he pulls out cards. But this time it's different.
Okay.
Unlike anything you see, he actually shows them to you, and he shows you 4.
Uh-huh.
And you see. Get to that part. Have all of it saved just in case. Okay, so he holds up the first card and just shows it to you, and it's like a moving picture. Think Harry Potter. You know, it's just like it's almost like it's alive, but it's not. First one you see a massive fiend, his hands clasped over your shoulders. It's almost like you are there in the picture. You see yourself emanating with the same power that you have as a ranger, but also with something else like dark magic coming from your hands. The second one, you see an archfey, specifically someone called the Green Lord. He's basically this elven-like creature of the forest that looks to be like 15 feet tall, very slender, and just covered in like moss. And he's holding you up, and you're like playing in like dancing lights. The third one you see is, so it's the one of like darkness, except you could see like tentacles and things, and one large eye. And the last one is a glowing sword being held by you, and it just as you move it, you just see it like emanating and crackling with energy. And then he says, "If you choose, it will be your final choice. What power you can get, I can give you from one of these."
I will pick the first card then, I guess.
The fiend.
Yes.
All right. So as you do feel hands, like burning hands on the back of your, where your wings grow out,
Uh-huh.
and you feel that energy is still there with your ranger abilities, but it's almost enhanced, and you feel magic for the first time. What you think is magic. It's just like it's almost innate. Like you feel the draw of power from some fiend, from maybe the Underdark, possibly the Abyss, one of the Nine Hells. He's siphoning the power from this being to you, and he's able to do so.
Hmm.
And you are now level 3 warlock as well.
Okay.
What's that?
And I'm gonna go grab my books. Right there underneath it, so you can
Need some books.
quick look at that. Interesting.
Is that going to fall off the table again?
No, we're good.
No.
So he looks over at Alara afterwards and says, "I have nothing for you. However, I do notice something different about you. Have you noticed the tips of your hair?" And just now you look over at her and you notice that she's got little like white, not like complete white tips, but almost like a shimmer. It's not actually there. It's just like the slight shimmer to her hair. Her skin looks a little bit more pale than usual, but she looks healthy. It's not like a dark pallor or anything like you're sick. But he definitely he notices something about you and says, "Don't you know what you are?"
Yes.
"Don't you know what your father is?"
Yes. Don't I? I do. Yes.
"Do you know he's a Yeah, roll history. See if he ever told you anything.
Ah,
Answer how you would
8.
with an 8.
I know that my father is of the Fae,
Mm-hmm.
and
You
he's
do
a
know that.
very important elf.
And he says, so very important. You're one of the only ones on this earth currently with this same type of power. You're not necessarily just an elf. You're something called an Eladrin, just as your father is, where he takes the abilities of autumn, you have of winter.
Oh.
She says,
Oh.
"You're crazy."
No, it's things make sense now. That's the O. that she-
Oh, okay. So he kind of says, "I'm excited to see you grow, young one, and see what you can do with this
Sorry, I
power
thought
as
I
it
wanted it.
unlocks over time." And then with that,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
he looks over at you and says, "I'll be seeing you," and then just disappears. And time just continues. And as he leaves, almost the whole energy of the fire like goes out. Around you, the wind just pushes, and it's just back to normal again.
Back to normal.
Trickster's gone.
Okay. Alright, because I'm like back to normal as in the inn is not on fire anymore?
It never happened. You never left your home at all. No.
We're still in the dwarven place. What's it called?
No, I
took it-
can't
you
leave
just-
that
You
place.
just took a nap. That all happened in your heads. Gosh, that would suck. I've almost done that to you guys before, and I was like, that'd be such a cheap shot. So,
Be
All
one of those movies you get to the end.
and you're like,
nothing
nothing
ever
mattered.
happened. Yeah.
It was all a dream.
all right. So, Odian says, well, that was peculiar.
Oh, he says with the trickster. And I've only met him twice now.
You chose the fiend.
Yes.
I thought your like book was ripped. For a second there, I didn't like even like recognize that was a blank page.
So you feel it already. It says in the book, you have made a pact with a fiend of the lower planes of existence, a being whose aims are evil in nature. Even if you strive against those aims, at times you will be called on to do such. Such beings desire the corruption and destruction of all things, ultimately including you. But however, he's got control over you. He's claimed you. He's just using that power. Fiends powerful enough to forge a pact, including demon lords. Yeah. So you have an expanded spell list. First, you're able to use Burning Hands and something called Command. And you also can cause blindness and deafness for a short time, and Scorching Ray.
Okay.
And I'll give you the other cantrips and things you can learn over
Are
time.
they all level 1?
The other one, Scorching Ray, was level 2.
Okay.
So you're able to do up to
Okay.
level 2 at this moment.
Okay.
All right.
Let's hope it was worth it.
Well, audiences, it could have been worse. You could have actually made a deal with an actual demon.
And we're sure that he wasn't.
So the trickster is, though beguiling like a demon, is not a demon himself. He doesn't belong in either. He seems to sit right in between good and evil.
Okay.
Alright, so just so you can get a kind of a brief look, I have some pictures and I will be posting them to Instagram, so if you want to see them. This is kind of what the city looks like,
Okay.
to get you kind of a feel.
So is the inn still on fire?
It is no longer on fire.
Okay. Because
So-
I'm wondering, because my
Outskirts.
belongings are upstairs.
Oh no, it didn't burn to the ground. It exploded down there and there were things catching fire. And
But the
then
rooms are fine. Oh, okay.
everything's burnt in the front hall,
Thank you.
upstairs are
You
fine.
know how I feel about losing things.
It's like when you watch a movie and they forget their backpack. Or
But then they have it in the next scene.
yeah.
Or they just don't like you ever like show it again. It's like you
Mhm.
lost your backpack. Or when they don't shut doors. Bugs me so bad.
So, with that whole situation with the trickster and you deciding to join him, you feel a slight disconnect, more than you felt before, from Azrael. Where you felt like you could pray to him and talk to him, you feel like you can't. Like you feel like you could talk, but it's almost like we're able to get like a signal. Now it's gone. Like it's completely shut off.
Hmm.
So it's kind of
We did
frightening
tonight.
to you,
Uh-huh.
I imagine, because you felt this your whole life. Such a loss from your brother's death just recently, and then now being disconnected. But
Uh-huh.
how are you feeling towards Ezreal anyway at this moment? You did
Uh,
decide to
he's-
choose to be a warlock.
He's ignored me ever since Cry and I were taken into captivity. He hasn't responded to me at all, not even once.
That's right.
So
Yeah, that's a problem for Awesome to not be able to speak to their deva.
yeah.
Okay. Now, what do you do? What is something you'd like to do? What would you do at this moment?
Probably rest.
You guys just got blown up, attacked,
Yeah, we probably
beat
need
up,
to rest.
sliced up.
I mean, I still want to leave probably first thing in the morning. And so I'm going to rest. What time is it now during the day? Because it was like noonish.
Yeah, I would say close to 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Okay, so
Ish the coup five.
I
Should
think
be
that
the
I will.
auspicious.
I'm just gonna take a rest because I rested
cat
pretty
nap.
short. But okay.
Right, so
What's his name there? Josiah.
Josiah's not there, but I'm sure he'll come by. It's, a place doesn't explode with
What happened to the one
devils.
guy? The
Deontay.
no, the 40-year-old guy.
He's actually not there anymore.
He was the trickster.
I can't say, but it would be weird for him to just show up and ask a question and then appear elsewhere and not say anything to it. But
But he's the trickster. I still don't trust him. So
not everyone's the trickster.
Nobody
whole
in the
campaign.
town's real.
Nothing actually ever happened. You guys are just literally being messed with the whole campaign.
you never know.
We were in that pit in
I
the
guess you know, but we don't know.
we were in the pit with Odeon the whole time,
You're just like, we did.
talking to a
us.
random statue.
Oh my goodness. That was so mad.
Oh no. Okay.
What is that noise? Is that a toy?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it is. So it is. All right. So now that you've had a chance to rest, even just a little bit, it is a little awkward because the person you were paying money to is dead downstairs, and they've taken him since then to the cemetery to bury. But it is a little awkward sleeping in an inn that's not technically owned by anybody.
And
But-
that was just on fire.
It's
Is
not
there, like,
structurally like.
Is there smoke damage?
I mean, there's a little of the back wall that had been blown out, but not like pillars or anything. So
oh yeah?
support beams are all
The
intact.
floor is not gonna fall out from underneath us.
No, and it didn't. You slept just fine. Did you sleep?
I think I would have tried to. Yeah.
Okay, well, I only sleep, what, 4 hours? I don't even probably need that much. Is that considered what's my full rest?
Yours, I think it's half of what humans
So,
are,
like,
so
4
it's about
hours.
4 hours, 4 to
So,
5.
I mean, I didn't. Whatever. Sorry, my brain's not working.
No,
anymore.
you're fine.
Okay, so my 4 hours are up. Huh? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go find Josiah.
Okay. It doesn't take long because he's actually sitting outside on a little stool. Looks like someone had brought him, and he's just sitting outside and
Outside the inn?
outside the inn across the street. He's not like right next
I
to.
don't know why I yelled that.
across the
Across the end.
But he's across from the inn, and he's sitting there smoking a pipe as you walk up to him.
She's just too wiggly.
Hi, Wiggy.
You hold her for a little bit.
Come here, Wiggy.
She likes you better.
That's so not true. All right, my co-DM. All right, so Josiah sees you and he's smoking a pipe, just casually Gandalf style.
Okay. I greet him and just get to the point. The boat.
So you still want to leave? I understand, since half the building you were sleeping in seemed to have erupted recently. Do you mind telling me more about that?
I think it's.
People are too afraid to approach you since you've come through a portal. Had a very, very interesting situation with the tree, which turned out very well.
Oh, I was like, what? What are you talking about? Oh, okay.
Mind you, there is some news about that I wish to run by you later. It's not a big deal, but
Okay.
but also with this whole demon situation,
How did he know I was a demon? You didn't say anything.
the bones out back, they're definitely not human. Most humans don't have a wingspan of 20 feet.
Okay. I just think that it would probably be in the best interest of everyone if we made our way. If we left as soon as possible.
And then you see him nod his head, and he just says, he puffs a couple times on his pipe, and then looks at you and says, "Probably."
All right then. It's not like we
It's
just-
no offense to you or your kind
A
or,
gentleman's agreement.
or your,
Huzzah!
of your
Huzzah.
friends, but we can't be having demons or anything coming into our town. It's plagued pretty much as it is. We don't need any more.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Are there more demons chasing you?
I don't know. Honestly, it's hard to tell at this point. Sorry, I'm not all here tonight, guys.
No, you're all good.
I'm very tired. I've been up since 3, so
No, you're fine. So
babies,
he's
sleep regression. It's so fun.
he's not like he's mad at you, and he's not like he's worried about you, but you can tell he's been getting pressure from townsfolk, and quite a few are actually peeking out the windows and watching you. They're all a little concerned.
Rightly so. So the boat,
Yes.
the supplies.
Yes, the boat. We don't have the supplies yet. The explosion seemed to have scared away the dock hands that we had hired, but I will rally them back up, and by morning you'll be ready to go.
Is there any way I could persuade you to have it done tonight?
Madam. He says, yes, well, I suppose I could get a couple young men together and we could get this going.
Okay. So,
You probably have to pay them, but
like, how much?
fair is fair. If there's just these young lads, they won't know the difference from a penny and a copper.
Okay. How many do you think you could get together?
We'll have to go see.
I give him,
I suppose you'll
I'm-
be paying for these provisions we're providing you,
absolutely.
and the boat.
I just give him a look like, seriously.
All right, roll persuasion or intimidation, your choice.
No, I don't want to do anything. I just like, I'm just
Well,
tired
you
of
are
these
trying
people.
to persuade him, so
Okay, fine. Persuasion then.
okay.
14. 14 plus 0.
You're good.
14.
So he kind of chuckles and says, Yes, well, you've done a lot for us. I'm not sure what that business was about, but if it happened and you weren't here to help, I'm sure many lives would have been lost, if not all. We're not sure what they were
I'm not
capable
trying to
of.
persuade him to like give us the stuff. I'm just like, are you like you're really asking me this? like
Well,
this is what's important to you right now? And I'm gonna say
Yeah, they're
this.
poor.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not asking you to just like you're worrying about money when the children of your people are being taken. Like, I'm sorry, but there's more important things to be worrying about than a few silver pieces or gold. And so I take out a little bag of money I have. Maybe it has like 10 gold pieces or whatever, and I just toss it on the Addis feet, and I walk away.
Nice.
Because I'm a little pissed. It's like, not only did we kill Kuzbek, we come here and, we're hailed as heroes, and then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, they're bad omens. It's a little annoying.
It's typical cities.
And she's impatient, which is unusual for her, because she's usually not impatient. She usually finds everybody else's impatience annoying. But right now, I should say me, I'm very like, let's just get going. I'm tired of this place. I'm tired of these people. Let's just get out of here.
Okay.
So I go back into the inn, and I go up the stairs, and I just pound on his door. And I'm just
And what
like,
are you doing in this?
just
in
like
this time?
so mad.
I'm probably pretty hungover, wishing I had more alcohol in my system.
It's downstairs. What's left of it?
Yeah.
Is Odeon in his room too, or is he in a separate room?
Odeon is actually sitting outside his door, cross-legged.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess before I pound on the door, I see
You
him.
just step over Odeon.
Well, I didn't know where he was.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so I probably should have asked first. And I just say, we're leaving tonight.
I can tell. He stands up and brushes himself off.
And if you aren't coming
You can
with
actually
me,
see he's got bags sitting
Okay.
there with his sword.
good, because I'm leaving with or without you.
No, you're not leaving without me, lass.
So I don't know what his deal is, and I like gesture to the door, but you need to get him in shape, and you need to get him down to the docks in about 3 hours. Got it?
And he says to you, his deal is that his brother just died.
I
His twin.
know this, but I'm saying there's some other things going on that's a little complicated here, and we just don't have time for this.
He says, well, demons have been killed. They're no longer coming after him due to his pact with the trickster, which is good for all of us. It seems that we're all as safe as we've ever been, especially now that we have the last piece of the ritual.
Which is the next thing. When are we doing this? I would like to do it before we leave.
Midnight.
All right, let's do it. What do you need?
We need space.
Okay.
No onlookers.
All right, I'll go do that. And I turn around and I leave.
And Odeon raps at your door with his
I'm
sword.
just
You
like-
hear this like metal like clink clink
So
clink
mad.
clink.
I'm so mad.
She's like, go get him, mom.
Yeah, we'll go get him.
Um,
Oh,
Oh.
oh.
I guess I answer the door.
I did
Sort
knock
of
on your door, by the way.
What?
That doesn't count.
Okay. You open the door. He says, a moment of your time.
What? What is it?
He just barges through. He just comes right in. Are you trying to stop him or you just
No.
let him in?
I just
Okay.
let him in.
So you just let him kind of barge in. He sits down. He says, look, I know your brother, and I know it's hard at this moment, but we don't have the luxury of mourning. You said a very difficult thing about killing every Yonti, which admirably so. I hope you leave me for last and consider. But until then, I'd gladly help you spill my own blood, as it were. But we need to get going. It seems our ship is sailing. And he points towards the dock area. She wants to leave in just a couple hours. but we would like
After
to.
midnight.
But we'd like to do the ritual. We wondered, do you also want to appear invisible to their mages?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
And you see him.
Um,
He says, "Okay," and he rolls across the ground another bottle to you. I've done the liberty of taking what was left. If it is what you need and it's a medicine you need at this moment, then I will be happy to help you, especially now that we're brothers of the same pacts.
uh,
Good answer.
Yeah.
We're spot on tonight,
That's
guys.
great.
No. I mean, is a viable answer to that. He's drunk, so.
Right. It's like, well, then, what are we standing around, dickering around in the dark for?
It's not my fault you never lit a candle. Come on, let's get going.
What
By
time
the
is
way,
it now?
I'm not sure where she went to. She said she'd go take care of it, and then she stormed off. What's gotten into her?
You don't know anything about me.
We didn't hear that. So
Yeah,
what's
right.
happening?
I'm just saying, like, outside.
She says as she walks away. She's got excellent elf ears.
What are your elf ears here?
You don't know me.
How does she do that? All right. So
I love that movie.
yeah, it's a good movie. All right. Now, where did you go?
I'm finding space. So, I locate that girl. What was her name?
Leona,
What was that? Was that her name? The little girl? I don't think that was her name.
little girl.
The girl that was in the.
Remind me.
She was in the. Not really. I guess at the docks with the boys, and they wanted to. Teach them how to throw knives.
I think it's Lilia. Let me.
Olivia. I wonder where you got that name from.
It's a very common name.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's also the name of your niece.
That's fine. I think it might have been Lily, but with an I. I'm not sure.
Why does that matter?
Livia. It is Livia. Okay.
Oh. Okay, so I find her. So what would I roll? Do I need to roll anything, or could I just find her?
You searched the streets for a while, but roll persuasion, I guess, on the people you're talking to. For an interest of time saving.
Just
Rather than dealing with 30 different people.
17?
You find a muddy footprint.
After this looks just like her footprint. After about 8 people, you finally get someone that knows who she is. They say, "Oh yes, like
Really? 8 people? How big is this town?
It's quite large.
Really?
There's like 750 able-bodied young people that were ready to fight for you. That was just the young men.
I thought that was surrounding areas.
That was just the young men. So I mean,
I
it
thought that
could've
was
been
surrounding areas, not in just the one city.
the city.
Oh, okay.
So, it takes a little bit, but you're able to find someone that knows her, and they point to this road that's kind of a crooked road that heads down towards, a little bit of the waterfront.
Wow.
It's kind of the outskirts of the town, past the walls. So you head down there, and there she is, lo and behold.
Perfect.
She's surprised and stands up like straight when she sees you. She was sitting down, looked like she was whittling something.
You seem like a smart and observant girl.
And she
Because-
smiles and says, "Okay."
You notice things that the boys miss, which I appreciate. And you also have discretion, which I appreciate even more. I need you to find me a clearing that is secluded and relatively close by.
You see her think for a few moments, but she says, "Well, there's a spot I used to go to be alone when my father would come home drunk. It's a small grove, not 10 minutes from here.
Show me.
Okay. So she says, yes, right away. And then she leans into the window and says, Mom, going out for a bit? And you hear the mom say something, but you can't quite make out what she says. She says, all right, let's go. And so she starts walking down the road, and she turns back to you and says, what was that business in the center of town? I heard there's quite the commotion.
Just demon slaying.
She laughs, and then she realizes that you were serious. She's, demons. Someday I'd like to travel and get free from this land. It's just nothing but swamp and Yuan-ti.
So do they take the... Okay, so I'm asking you as DM. Do they take the girls too, or just the boys?
Okay, girls and boys.
You never read that Dark Tower series, did you?
Mm.
It's making me think of one of the books.
I shall have to read it. It's good to not read some things that have to do with what you're writing about. That way you don't glean ideas from something else. And if it's coincidence, then it's just two minds think alike.
Yeah.
Which happens often.
Yeah. I wrote I Am Legend
Yeah.
before I even saw it. So,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Okay.
she's got a lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
she wants to play.
All right, so after about 10 minutes, just as she said, there is a clearing. It was pretty dense. It's looking. It's a little footpath, but it takes you there, and it's clear of mostly underbrush, but it looked like there were some old stones here at some time. Imagine the dolmen in Ireland. It's very like rocky, but there's looks like to be. It's almost like a Stonehenge area. Looks like an old area of worship a long time ago.
Oh, perfect. I think that would be good.
She says, I used to sit up on this rock right here and
Perfect.
just
for rituals.
think.
And where is your father?
He died. He when the Yuan-ti came the last time, he took a sword to one, which was quite impressive. But in his drunken state, it seemed the scimitars didn't seem to affect him until they beheaded him publicly. But he managed to kill one of them.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm not. But yes. Anyway, I'm sorry that he was my father.
And your mother, is she the only one that you have left?
No, my brother. You met him.
Who's your brother?
He was the other one that was with you, Uriah.
Oh. All right. I showed him how to throw some knives, and he was pretty good at it. Wasn't he good?
He was.
He was the one that was good at it, not the other one.
Not the dog.
And you have him show you how to do it. You understand?
Oh yes,
Okay.
of course.
Does anybody else know about this place?
I mean, people know about it, but no one visits here. Everyone
Okay.
thinks it's haunted, but I've never been bothered.
Even better. I
I find that people think most things are haunted, and most people are wrong. So
I knew you were the right one.
she smiles and it just kind of like does like a fake bow and just like kind of a joking manner, but
So I'm guessing that her brother is one of the ones that is supposed to be helping load the boat, right? Okay, all right.
they're kind of the go-to guys.
Okay, so let's see. I have one more question to ask. Today, during the whole demon slaying business, there was a man who was middle-aged. He had, what was it, sandy blonde hair and what did you say? Cocked eye?
He kind of had like a left eye, a little bit of a. It was quite.
He seems to be the only one of that age group in this town that I have seen. Who is he? Do you know? Because
You see her just think for a little bit,
because
and
he's the only one I've seen. So
she actually knows what you're talking about, but she says, the funny thing is, some people weren't taken. They were taken, but then they came back. I don't know much more than that, other than he just wandered back into town one day.
and he's the only one?
I think there's 3 that had this situation. people know them, but they don't talk much.
Okay. Just feel like there's something off with them in this whole situation because that's from what I know of the Yonti. They don't have mercy.
Are you speaking to?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, where does he live?
I think he lives towards the old palace.
All right. Thank you very much.
There's a road that leads up to it. He's about the third house from the wall.
And you
I
know
think.
his name?
I think his name was Adam.
Adam? Oh, great. I can remember that. Ashley says.
It was Adam and Namamana. No.
Perfect.
What
Okay,
is
so I give her a gold piece,
a gold piece? Wow.
and I tell her to stay smart and stay safe, and send her on her way.
And she holds that gold piece very safe and says, "I'll only use it when I need it, but probably won't be using it on my family. They don't really need money. It's just not important." And so she says, "Okay, let's go. Before anything pops out of these things and scares us half to death."
Does that happen?
She's joking, very cool. She kind of like half skips down the road. She's very excited and happy to be of service. And what were you doing in the meantime with Odeon?
While waiting,
Yeah.
I think I would have probably attempted to pull that sword out of the bag of holding and run some detection on it. Arcane.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. So you pull it out, and it's still in its cover.
No. Stop.
That's a cocktail. I don't know what that is.
I'll just.
Roll it on the book.
I did.
It just escaped.
Okay, that's a solid number. For once.
What time is it now?
We're at 10:40.
No, not what time is it here. What time is it?
Mountain Standard Time. I apologize. Sometimes my DM mind is all over the place, but for some reason not in this world for the moment. It's about 10 or 11.
At night?
Yeah. You were searching for a while, trying to find this girl, walking around the streets.
Oh.
Traveled down an old road to find her, found her, went 10 minutes one way, 10 minutes back. It's pretty close to 10.
Well, I'm not gonna have
11.
time to look into this guy. Oh well.
Oh well.
Well, who's to say that's not what you did first? But yeah, go ahead.
I rolled a 14.
Okay. As you take it out of its covering, you feel this like really like dark energy from it. It doesn't seem to be cursed, but I want you to, with Odeon, you just rolled an Arcana.
Yes.
Okay, so you can tell that it's definitely of one of the like 9 hells made. You've seen these weapons shattered in the halls of Zast. You know, like trophies of different demons slain by different war priests. But you've never seen one whole before, and this one, it kind of calls to you in the sense that it's so beautiful in its darkness, but there's definitely like a foreboding feeling about it, like maybe you shouldn't touch it, but it's up to you whether you do so or not. You can always learn more by handling the weapon than
Yeah.
looking at it.
Is it
Get right.
is it a weapon style that I would be proficient with?
It's a longsword.
Are rangers
Yeah.
longsword proficient?
Mhm.
Yeah, they are.
Well, yeah, martial weapons.
Yeah.
You're good enough to do like great swords and stuff like that.
Mm.
It's a little bit longer than a long sword, a little bit thinner too, but it's got like kind of like this like dark ebony type look to it.
Mhm.
But Yeah, it's almost like a hand and a half. Like a dai katana almost. Like it's a little bit bigger than like a normal katana would be. I'm trying to explain it in terms that maybe one of them will stick.
Right.
But
right.
it's bigger than a long sword, shorter than a great sword.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm gonna say it has long sword stats. But when you're using two-handed on this weapon, I would say a D12 rather than a D10,
Okay.
just because it's slightly bigger.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I will plan on equipping it. So
Nice.
I'm gonna tie it to my waist.
Okay. So it sits at your waist in kind of at like an awkward level. It kind of taps the ground as it goes. Perhaps on your back you feel would be a better choice. So crossbow one way would be this way, just because it's a little bit long.
Yeah.
So it's a great sword, long sword. It's gonna be
Yeah. Yeah.
hitting the ground as you run.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'll do that then.
Okay. As you fasten it on, Odion's been watching you the whole time. He says, "So you're just you're gonna use that weapon, are you?"
Yeah.
I mean, I had no intention of using it. Mind you, I have my sword. I've claimed it, but just make sure that sword doesn't claim you. Gotcha. Let me know if you start hearing things or bleeding from the eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, you startled her.
Sorry, big girl. Okay.
Noisy.
It's always like random things that startle her.
Okay. So you come and find them.
It's
Is
like
that where you-
11.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's more like 10:30, but
Yeah. And I say, all right, I found a place. It's perfect.
that was quick. A few hours, but
So you guys ready?
Let's go.
yes. Well, I'm ready. I have all the ingredients.
Okay. So I go into my room,
You
grab my
look
bag.
like you're about to ask something.
There's just something that's just bugging me.
I find, Lass, when there's something bugging you, that it's probably for the best that we.
Well, I don't
Investigate.
know if we have time. And I don't know if it's really something, but there's just something weird. So you two probably know more, about it. But how often do the Yanti release people that they've taken?
You see Odion look quizzically and say, "I've never heard of them releasing anyone except by killing them."
That's what I thought too.
And they
But
don't do that likely either. They prefer the slaves.
So apparently there's 3 men, right? She said they were men.
Well, people, but men probably.
There's 3 people in town that have returned from being taken.
Like escaped.
No. Like returned. So
They don't return slaves.
that's what I said. So I know where one of them is. He actually was at the inn today. I don't know if you guys noticed, because lots of stuff going on.
I was tending to the bodies myself, so I
Yes.
didn't quite
Well,
look at the crowd on looking.
I stood out to me because he middle-aged and everyone else is either very old or very young. And apparently there are 3 of these people. I didn't get to the other 2, but this one, I know where he is. But I'm thinking we should do this little ritual thing first. How long is that going to take?
I've never done it, but having all the pieces, placing them the right way, 20 minutes.
Because I'm thinking that maybe they're spies or not, or maybe doppelgangers or something that it's not what it seems.
It sounds worth checking out, at least before we leave these poor people, that we can rid them of their spies.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, they've already gone
As long as we don't go
enough.
hacking and slashing some people that happen to escape the Yanti.
I don't think that's possible because when I was talking to the young men, I asked them why they stayed, and they said that they would be hunted down, and they all have brands that I detected magic, and so I believe that. So they don't. I don't think these people escaped, and if they did, why did they come back to their town? So there's just
That
something
is interesting.
weird,
That
and it's
definitely
weird
is.
that no one has questioned this. So these poor people are so. So let's take care of this thing,
Definitely, that's
and then
something
let's go look into it.
to look into later. But yes, let's not tell anyone else, or you can speak of it out of this room, because if they do have spies in this town, which is likely, we don't want to let them know that we're onto them. Are you sure that this girl that you spoke to is trustworthy?
Yes.
Okay, that's good enough for me. Shall we be off then?
Yes. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
All right,
She's smiling at me. It's
Go buy new
distracting.
suits.
So you head that way. It does take you not as long as before, because now you know the way. You pass the house. She's no longer sitting out front, but she hears you coming down the road, because there's not much traffic on this road, and she.
But we're really quiet.
Are you rolling stealth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Oh man.
Okay. 2 natural 20s in a row.
Before we left the inn, I
Okay.
wrote a note. And
2.
no, I don't know if I'm gonna write it, actually.
Dear
Hopefully not
dead
the owner.
innkeeper, I'm sorry that you're dead. If you are haunting this place,
Let me think about it for
you're
a
dead.
second.
Stop it.
Sincerely, people who are not dead.
Little does he know he's
Nope,
actually
never mind. We'll wait for a second.
dead. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So she doesn't hear you.
Yeah, quick
You
remember,
you
not
pass
to-
by sneakily. In fact, the whole street down.
But I wanna like peek in and see if she's there.
Okay. Roll perception as you kind of look inside the house.
18. I can't ever find it because there's all the P. You know.
It is quite dark, but with dark vision, you're able to see and make out that there's a sleeping girl in kind of like a cot, a mother and a young man that's he seems to be up at candlelight. That's just kind of like reading a book.
And I can tell that it's her.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's those two.
All right. Okay. Just wanted to make
I
sure.
mean, you can.
Because I'm
she's
a
like
little like, oops.
Her back is turned, but you can tell she looks like the girl that you
Okay.
are with.
Because if something happened to her, you're in trouble, mister.
Me?
Yes.
DM me?
Yes.
It's not my fault.
You involved her.
I mean, just kidding. I don't kill everyone.
You brought her into the woods.
I'm not George R. Martin.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
All right, you show them the path. You make your way. Now you are in the clearing, and as you get there,
We're all sneaky because I rolled a critical, right?
You did.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it counts for 2. He rolled a 5,
I rolled an 18.
and so
Oh, good.
so
All right.
between
We're
you,
good.
all of you, stealth roll as a group, just fine. All right, so just her staring at me is like distracting me. She's just like, ah. All right, one more audience member. All right, just had to make sure we're still moving.
Sorry. Uh-oh.
Let me check. Could you try pulling it up on your phone just to make sure we're still live? Because this might have just froze. Let me just check that. It's how long ago?
Did you take it off internet? Off the Wi-Fi? Are we on? We've been having problems with Wi-Fi all day. Oh, it's just.
It's getting a feedback from me,
Okay,
audio, but yeah, it's going.
let me
It sounded like it was repeating.
let
though.
me just quickly do one thing.
Except your computer's saying chat just disconnected.
Yeah.
No, it's showing we're live and we're being watched.
Hmm.
Let me just do one live stream. You are live.
Okay.
Okay, picture just showed up. All right, it should be coming back on.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got it here.
So, quick
We'll come
recap.
on just a
Sorry about
second.
that. We had some connection issue. Alright, we're back on.
All right.
Okay, so what did you miss? Let's hope it wasn't much, but she went down to the docks. She found a girl that she'd spoken to before that knew where some clearing was, so they could do their ritual. They stealthed their way down, natural 20, 18, and a 5, made up for it. They walked their way down. She checked inside. They were still there. They made their way to the place, and that's where we are. You didn't miss anything. See? It's all good. I think that's where we're at. Anyway, let's get started.
Let's do this.
All right. So, he pulls out one by one the pieces of the ritual. He pulls out
Do you want me to take her?
he pulls out the feathers from the angels that you had to painstakingly get. He pulls out the demon blood that took a long time to coax and finally get.
It was rather convenient, actually.
Everything kind of worked out, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
The only thing that he pulls out that
They brought the last
you
piece of the puzzle
probably
to us.
weren't quite ready for. He says, now, before I pull out this last piece, I don't know if you remember, we needed the blood or flesh of an Aasimar. And he pulls out your brother's hand.
He took the whole hand?
He had to. That's what he had to do.
The hand?
The hand. He said he went back. So, whatever that means, he had to take his hand. And he says, I'm profoundly sorry, but to complete the ritual, we were going to go find that other Aasimar, but we never did. And unless you were willing to give your own living hand, I unfortunately had to remove it.
What does it matter now? You never asked.
He says, it is fair, and I understand if you're angry, but ends justify the means. It wasn't me who killed your brother, but we can find those that were responsible.
It
And
was you that desecrated his dead body without asking.
yes, there's many things that we have to do as warlocks that we don't necessarily enjoy. And he says, I apologize, and I'll make it up to you somehow. But you are going to kill me eventually, right? So it will be even. He says, do you want to get in sneakily or not? It's not something I enjoy doing. I just let you know this is your brother's hand and I am sorry. He says, but that being said,
What is done is done.
it's done. And so he places that
And
down.
I kind of give I kind of glare at Odeon because that's pretty,
It's dark. Yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't.
pretty. But hey,
Yeah.
You can tell he's sincere, but
a
it's just
fly.
the way it is.
Yeah.
And he then pulls out the basilisk eye. He pulls out. I think there's one other piece, but you have them all, and he places them all down, and you see him cast a fire like around it, and start to chant in some language you can't understand. You do have a ring that would understand it, but he's continuing over and over the same thing until this like energy starts to emanate even from the stones that are surrounding you, and it's swirling around you, and the wind picks up really heavily. You know when the wind picks up so heavy that it's just uncomfortable, you're like, I just want to be inside because it's so windy. It's kind of at the point where the trees are beginning to crack a little bit. Some even branches even fall off the trees that are around you, and it all comes to this like cacophonous mixture of sounds, and then sudden stop. Everything just kind of like this boom sound
just in this area.
just in this area.
Okay. I was like,
And
that's
then
gonna like.
the items in the center all convalesce and become just one mass, this dark spinning mass, and then just combine, ignite, and immediately erupt, and then silence. And Odeon looks spent, like exhausted. You look at him, and he's actually got like blood coming down from his ears a little bit. He looks parched. His lips are just chapped. His eyes are sunken in. But he kind of rights himself the best he can off the ground. You can see him just like his skin is just like sore, like it's just like just wrinkled a bit. He turns to you and says, "It's finished, I think. I hope."
So how do we know?
we need to find someone that can try to scry us, but I don't know. I think it should work. I did everything it said in the book, so.
Probably put a great big target on us.
Either that, we're all dead soon anyway.
It didn't hide us. It put a big target on our backs.
I suppose we'll know the first city we go to, which is the capital. If we're going to assassinate that brotherhood, there's probably at least one in that city.
What brotherhood?
The Yanti.
Yeah, the Yanti Council. It's like this
Oh,
brotherhood of
Yeah.
Shadia, Hakor, all these other ones.
Okay, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course Ammonius. We can't forget Ammonius.
Well, okay. I hand Odeon my wineskin.
Kafra,
And
Hakor,
so I can
Ammon,
take a
Shadia,
quick swig.
Ammonius.
Yeah, he does so. Squeezes some wine into his mouth and drinks it happily and then hands it back to you.
And I say, so, you're ready to go and figure out what is going on with these?
And you see him just kind of laugh and just kind of shake it out and just say, we've been through worse.
Do you need more time?
Nonsense.
Okay.
I'm fine. Fine as I've ever been, if it worked. If it didn't, then I don't want to get to the if it didn't.
Okay. So, we go to this guy's house, Adam. He's by the palace. The old palace, right? That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Or should we stop right there? Because it's 11.
Let's get to the house and then we'll.
Okay,
We'll
so
stop there.
what do you want? What did we do?
Okay, so you're making your way through the streets and.
Oh. I'm not gonna do stealth because I want to see if
Do you want everyone else to do stealth behind you?
I kind of want to see. Like, I mean, I'm not worried about anyone in town like knowing what we're doing.
That's true.
Like, if
Everyone's
this,
all like,
you know, if this person,
creeping up around the middle
if
of
this
the night.
man is like a spy, then there's no way that he's gonna know we're coming. If, I guess stealth wouldn't matter.
Okay.
It wouldn't matter. We'll just do it.
Are we still?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
What, natural one?
No.
Five.
You're tripping through the
10.
mud.
She's tap dancing
I got a
all the way
10.
to the house.
Do-do-do-do.
He rolled a 5 too,
No,
so.
that's entertaining.
Yeah.
So,
It was a 10. It was a 10 total.
Too bad we didn't put on our waffles.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that.
We were sidetracked.
That's true.
Odion turns to you and says, the ritual itself must have erased part of our minds. Either
No, I
way,
didn't even go and check and see if the boats were loaded.
it's true.
We're just like, hurry.
Yeah.
We make our way to the house, and you see that they have a light lit inside. Looks to be some kind of like torch, like a sconce would have
Inside the house?
inside the house.
And
You can't
there's-
see, the shutters are closed, but there's definitely someone inside, and no one would use that kind of money on pitch if they're just going to burn a torch all night, if it wasn't for a purpose.
Okay,
Unless
I
they're just
want to see
bleeding money.
if
just like, I don't
there's.
care, whatever.
I want to see if.
Keep them lit.
I want to see.
Torches forever. Cycle.
Maybe we should end before we go on. Okay, I want to see if there's like another entrance to the house that like maybe.
Look, a window.
Well, they're shuttered.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're fine. It's not going anywhere.
I'm not fine. It's you that did it.
You're fine. You're fine.
Has nothing to do with me. It's all you.
I was just stating facts. All right. Sorry, I'm a dork. All right.
That is true.
All right. So you want to look for a window?
Something so I can see like inside
Okay.
the house.
Do an investigation.
18.
Okay,
That's pretty good.
that is
You
very
like the
good.
exact charm?
So, you've looked around for about 2 minutes. It doesn't take much time before you can find a slightly. It's not ajar. It just doesn't shut quite right, either with time or just disrepair. There is a small slit, and inside you see the man wearing the same dark clothing as he was wearing before. Sandy hair is no longer there, however. And you see like a wig, like placed on like a little bust.
So what's instead of sandy hair?
You see, without the brandished swords,
Is that a snake?
The scaly pate. Okay.
I will post it. She sees a Yonti
I knew it.
of some sort standing
I'm
in the
gonna let it
room.
go.
He looks to be deep in some kind of prayer, but he has his blades in front of him and he's kneeling down. Looks like he's getting ready to go do something, and that's where we'll stop tonight.
No.
You said you wanted to go there and
Well,
stop.
I know.
It has to leave on a cliffhanger so people will come back. Are we still streaming? Yeah, we are. Okay. So I'm sorry that we had a little bit of a hiccup, but it happens when your internet is.
When you live by a really big tree that blocks everything.
It doesn't matter what internet company we use. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We will be back, believe it or not. We would not stop the campaign forever right there.
Oh, please don't.
We'll never be back.
It'd be nice if we actually get to finish this campaign. It might be a long time from now. It might be sooner, depending on what you guys do. But yes,
I jump off a cliff.
he commits suicide. That
Let's
would be.
see what. Let's see
that
you roll
would-
with that
Did you
one.
have the ring of Featherfall or whatever?
I do.
You're good.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
He's just like, I'm done. Dang it! I can't even die. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, we
Um,
might die here
Sure.
because there's probably the other two.
Being all snake-like.
Done. But we'll see. If
By
we
the way,
can
I think we can all give a little round of applause. How? I mean, that was quick. She just like
Yeah.
picked up immediately. Wait, how old is he? What? Wait. That was really good. Yeah, that was really good. I was like, okay, she just like totally ousted this guy.
Single-handedly.
Found out that the Yonti purebloods are in the city.
Okay.
Good for
all
you.
right.
And on that note,
I know, I could tell
whether
you were
we're
pretty
playing
impressed.
twice next week or not, I'll let you know. Probably just playing Saturday. But in case we're just absolutely nuts and want to play again, we'll let you know. But it's on.
I'll be in Provo on
Yeah,
Tuesday.
So
So
he's gonna be gone. So Instagram will be updating all the fun stuff, and that's it. So it's late for us. We wake up really early, and she's. This is why she doesn't sleep. She's just like we play D&D, and she's wide awake. She was
I know,
sleeping before,
She was out.
as usual. May your rolls always be natural ones, just not natural ones, because that's terrible.
and poopy.
Yeah, seriously. We didn't roll any natural ones.
No,
No.
220
no
was on your
ones.
side.
No ones.
Well, you kind of rolled the first one.
Well, that was an accident, but it still works.
Okay.
It was like the ball was in play. Alright, see y'all.